Day of the Dead, a celebration of memory and a ritual that favors memory over oblivion. In pre-Hispanic times, the Call of the Dead was one of the basic elements of the culture. When someone died, they were buried wrapped in a petate, and their relatives organized a party in order to guide them on their journey to Mictlán. In the same way, they placed food that they liked in life, with the belief that they could feel hungry. The Day of the Dead, in the indigenous vision, implies a transitory return of the souls of the deceased, who return home, to the world of the living, to live with relatives and to be nourished by the essence of the food that is offered to them in the altars, placed in their honor. In this Day of the Dead celebration, death does not represent an absence, but a living presence. Death is a symbol of life that materializes in the offered altar. In this sense, it is a celebration that carries great popular importance since it includes various meanings, from philosophical to material. Its origin is located in the harmony between the celebration of Catholic religious rituals brought by the Spanish and the commemoration of the Day of the Dead that the indigenous people carried out since pre-Hispanic times. The ancient Mexicas, Mixtecs, Texocans, Zapotecs, Tlaxcalans, Totonacs, and other native peoples of our country transferred the veneration of the dead to the Christian calendar, which coincided with the end of the agricultural cycle of corn, the main food crop in the country. The celebration of the Day of the Dead takes place on November 1st and 2, since it is divided into categories. According to the Catholic calendar, November 1st corresponds to All Saints, a date dedicated to the little dead, or children, and on November 2 to the faithful departed, that is, to adults. Every year, many families place offerings and altars decorated with cempasúchil flowers, chopped paper, sugar skull, dead bread, mole, or some dish that their relatives liked to whom the offering is dedicated. And, as in pre-Hispanic times, incense is placed to aromatize the place. Likewise, the festivities include decorating the tombs with flowers and often making altars on the tombstones, which in indigenous times had a great meaning because it was thought that it helped lead the souls to travel on a good path after death. Tradition also indicates that, to facilitate the return of souls to earth, cempasúchil flower petals should be spread and candles placed, tracing the path they are going to travel so that the souls do not get lost and reach their destination. In ancient times, this road led from the family home to the pantheon, where their loved ones rested. The Day of the Dead is celebrated throughout Mexico, with some variations depending on the region or state. In Mexico City, in the mayor's office of Tláhuac, there is a small town named Mixquic, which means where there is mezquite, one of the most visited places during these days, since its celebration adheres to Mexican traditions and it is carried out jointly with the town fair. It is worth mentioning that the United Nations Organization for Education, Science and Culture, the UNESCO, declared this festivity as intangible cultural heritage of humanity in 2008. Due to its importance and meaning, as it is a traditional, contemporary expression and living at the same time, inclusive, representative, and community. For UNESCO, the annual meeting between indigenous people and their ancestors fulfills a considerable social function by affirming the role of the individual within society. It also contributes to reinforcing the cultural and social status of Mexico's indigenous communities. The Day of the Dead is considered a celebration of memory and a ritual that privileges remembrance over oblivion. In Mexico, the celebration of the Day of the Dead varies from state to state, from municipality to municipality, and from town to town. However, throughout the country, it has the same principle, bringing families together to welcome their loved ones who return from beyond. It is worth